Chinese were keen observers of nature. They saw that the daily and yearly cycles affected everything in nature, creating evidence of predictable forces they referred to as energies. They surmised these energies must have a powerful physical and psychological influence on humans. These observations led them to develop a philosophy and a medicine for living a balanced and happy, vitality filled life by living in harmony with the five seasons. From the day night cycles, they deduced yin and yang as complementary forces, not opposites. From the seasonal cycle came the five elements or phases of energy. The transitional period that the ancient Chinese knew that transitioning from one season to another would never happen in only one day, but rather over a transitional period of time. Each regular season lasts 72 to 73 days. Each in between transition season naturally occurs 4 times a year. Therefore, each transition period lasts approximately 18 days. The transition was observed as a time when the departing energy was said to return to the earth to be transformed into the next seasonal energy. Thus, earth was the name given to the transitional season and to this fifth energy. Balance. So the earth is seen as a moment of balance between yin and yang. The current earth energetic season lasts from April 18th to May 5th. And then energetic summer, fire, begins May 6th and runs until July 19th. To balance an earth skin condition, it's about detoxifying, purifying, and normalizing the skin, clearing up blemishes, toxicity, acne, reducing enlarged pores. The energy of purification. So, if your skin is already balanced, taking into account what is normal for your age, then now is the time to utilize skin and hair care from the Earth line. Thanks for tuning in. Follow for more. In the meantime, visit www.tanyad.tv/Fido5.
Inshallah and Ashe. Thanks for tuning in. I am multi-streaming, or at least I hope I am. Divine blessings to you. Oh, I better move myself over here. Trying to, anyway. Mostly because I'm multi-streaming on Instagram as well. And I guess I got to get in front of my horse for Instagram. Either way, here we are on a fantastic Friday, or at least I hope it's fantastic. Either way, how was the Scorpio? I'm going to go with the Scorpio. Yes, I did bring that in. The Scorpio full moon. I don't know who's all had some what I coin an energetic hiccup. Energetic hiccups are when we get these subtle nudges, and sometimes they make us feel like we're feels like literally we're stretching the strings of the streams. Strings of the streams. I'm not even kidding. That's kind of what that feels like on this fantastic Friday. But I did want to bring in the Chinese elements, the elementals, through time and space. We are in a Yang Wood Dragon of a year. So the southeast quadrant is like highly activated for the entire year. It's a great area with period 9 to actually add water as an element, moving water for prosperity, to keep things moving, just so you know. And if you can't put something moving in the southeast, you can also do the north and also the southwest. That's kind of what I have done. And as far as mountains would be like walls and furnitures and whatnot. And those best areas are literally the south, my fairy mound in my case, and also big buildings to the northwest and the northeast and those quadrants. That's why I brought this little image up. So each season, as we move through space and time, we're currently in a Earth transitional area. Earth is always an interseason. It happens at the end of every season. In this case, today it's the end of the spring season before we enter into fire. Earth, again, is a transitional energy. And every time I really have high compassion for people born in an Earth season because you're always in transition energetically. You're kind of like the mountain, the solid person, the stable person that people go to. I find a lot of nurses are earth people, nurturing, caring people. That's kind of what they do. They're the home foundation. In that case, I find that curious. I just brought this in because I feel like it's vitally important as we're moving from one season into the next, whether you're born in the spring, the summer, winter, or fall. All of these energies really are kind of a foundation to our inner and our outer well being and how that plays into the game of life. And I brought in the Dagara cosmology. I worked with an indigenous African shaman for over 10 years. Spirit sent me to him, like in 2012, I want to say. And the moment he landed in Salt Lake City, Utah, Malidoma Some, I just never left his side until he transitioned in 2021. Um, I kind of had him on speed dial. We really had a kind of a funny, unique relationship. So when I do cowrie shell divinations, this is an art. I'm a certified diviner in his method and their philosophy of the Dagara tradition. I do these live, but I also do them in person. And I want to give a shout out to those of you that have returned and you were like, oh my goddess, how would you know that? Well, the shells actually speak to me, and I just tune into them and channel what comes out of them. So that's why I brought that up. And essential oils. I find essential oils are actually a great tool to use. There's so many tools and there's so many spiritual practices. Myself, I do I do love essential oils. I've been playing with them for years. I'm going to switch this over here so you can see it. Yeah, so I for Scorpio, it's all about ylang ylang. I have a Scorpio moon. This is actually one of my favorite essential oils. Oh my goddess, it makes me salivate. I do use doTERRA, but you know what? Go with what your soul believes in. No big deal. Lavender is always fantastic. I think everybody should have lavender, either as an herb in your herbal garden on your fairy mound, like I have, or essential oils again to travel with and care about. And of course, patchouli. Who doesn't like the deep scent of patchouli? Can you smell it through the airwaves and the subtle fields, sharing the smell? So if you're new to my show, by the way, you don't know why I go live every Friday. I do mini cowrie shell divinations. I move the shells and I ask, I'm going to actually invoke spirit that I can be a conduit when I get to that phase, and move the shells for mini divinations. So if there's something on your mind or you're curious about something that's happening for you, um, the fairies, I play with the fairy deck too. I just ask that you comment in the shows so I can kind of see what's happening for you. And I do have multi-streaming. I don't really know if it's working. This is new for me. I had to adjust things with Facebook's new, I don't know, algorithm, I guess is what you'll call that. So I'm kind of multi-streaming everywhere. But either way, that's kind of what we're navigating towards. Let's see. I did do that. I do have, here, I'm going to change that up. Coming up next month, May 8th, Elemental Pathway. If you join me for Gift and Purpose, I truly believe every one of us has a gift and a purpose. There's a reason why we arrived on the planet. And when we're in line with our gift and our purpose, we're in the flow. Life is just magic. We don't have crossroads. We don't have forces of adversity. You might seem otherworldly and maybe out of this world. That's highly possible. So, Elemental Pathway, I do have Gift and Purpose as just an add-on within Elemental Pathway if you missed that on the horizon as well. And of course, I always have other things happening for you and to you. There's something else, though, I wanted to share here. Let's see. I do have some. Oh, yeah. This is hilarious. So this is my human design chart. If you don't know anything about human design, I am actually a reflector. I'm a seer into the unseen, if you know much about that. So I literally channel things. Like if you've ever had a session with me, I literally call in spirit that I can just be a conduit to deliver the message you need to receive. And, you know, spirit is kind. I discern the messages that are coming through. Usually it's your guides are tapping me or my guides tapping me, showing me something. So that's kind of what I do when I move the shells, which I will get to. So, again, if you're curious and you have something happening for you right now, or just comment about the Scorpio, the full moon. I do follow the lunar gates through the seasons, being a reflector, and it's quite endearing, I'll say. Some months, the flavor of the moon during the season of Taurus versus the season of Aries is very different. I've been following the moon through the seasons and the gates, whether it's astrology or human design or the gene keys or all things, for over 2 years now. Just for myself, I highly think it's very awesome to reflect through that. And the reason I work with the elementals, let's see if I have the image of that. I might have thrown that in the trash. I've got so many images on here. Yeah, I did throw that in the trash. So the reason I work with Chinese astrology, that's kind of your foundation to health. I actually started doing Chinese astrology and dipping into the 4 pillars of Chinese medicine when I brought in an energetic skincare line to really heal the body through the skin, because the skin gives us telltale signs, and also working on the energetic centers, the chakras in the body and outside of the body really carry a different flavor. I truly believe we all have an intuitive gift, and it's our prime directive, I would say, to tune into the gift that resonates with our own gift and purpose. Oftentimes, people want somebody else's gift, not recognizing the magical being that resides within each and every one of us. We all have a purpose. And I think we need to be each other's cheerleaders instead of down leaders, if you will. So with that, if you're still tuned in, go ahead and comment. I don't know how this is going to work. Like I said, I'm multi-streaming. However, comment if you want me to move the shells on your behalf. If you have got a question, something like is on the tip of your tongue, something that you can taste. I'm going to move my screens here. As you do that, I'm going to move myself over there and move my shells over there. There we go. Fantastic. See, I'm getting better at this. So, yeah, you got to comment. I do have my streams open, multi-streaming. So I'm not even kidding. Oh, yeah, that's kind of fun. I wonder if Instagram's having a moment, but that's okay. Either way, this is hilarious. Do you guys ever like laugh at yourselves? I think it's highly important to have an inner giggle. Just saying. So for those of you on Instagram, I'm going to apologize out loud. I do cowrie shell divinations. I'm trying to multi-stream, so this is funny. Whatever, creatrix, I see you there. You do. That's fantastic. Oh, you have a question? You got a comment so I can actually move the shells on your behalf. So with that, I do want to affirm the magical being that is me, my starlight. I want to affirm the magical beings that is you and everybody tuning in now or later on the replay and into the future. I'll affirm the Great Spirit, the oneness, the contemplates, the Boremes, the beings in the seen and the unseen. I'll go with my animal totem, my Wedame, Sir Didymus. I'll see you there. The Great Spirit, the oneness, our ancestors, near, far, and dear, Tingan, Timbaloo, and everything in between, that I may be a conduit to deliver the message you need to receive today. And with that, I say Ashe. And so, yeah, I'm playing with the Fae. If you don't know me, I feed the fairies for my full and new moon rituals. That's kind of what I do. And since my big spruce pine tree blew over, now the fairies have wandered into the neighborhood. Not that I mind, but I will say my neighbors don't really like the fairy rings, which is a whole nother story. This is the green woman. She goes with the green man, obviously. This is all about nature, connecting with nature. I find this interesting as we're at a transitional period. But also, this is about connecting with your own fairy, your own Wedame, your own being in the other world. I would even say, the keepers of the wild, the protectors, the fierce wild protectors. So this is being creative and creating your own Wedame. Could be an animal totem. It could be a pet you already have in your home. These are the topsy-turvettes, so that tells me we're at a crossroads somewhere. Things are not what they appear to be. Topsy turvette. So there's a little card there. Just saying. Just saying. No comments yet. Let's go over here and see if I got any comments. No comments there either. I don't even know what page I'm on, but hey, we're doing fantastic, and that's really all that matters. Let me go here and see what's going on. Opportunities, right? Opportunities. I want to go there. I'm just grateful that my stream is streaming. Okay, we're doing great. I'm commenting as myself. Well, that's awesome. So, what I do need you to do is comment, ask a question, a querent question. I see Eva, whatever. That's awesome. I think that's fantastic. Oh, Lordy. Okay, well, I do this every Friday. I do live mini cowrie shell divinations. Mostly about like just opening up the world and this world. Oh, let me get my wand. My wand's clear over here. Got it. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, let's see. I don't. Yeah, say cheese. Cheese. Alrighty. Okay, well, I guess I'll just do a read for the weekend since everyone's being shy. A weekend read. Yes, this is true. A weekend read. Man, they're just popping out. This is awesome. I might have to twist this over a little, huh? I'll deal with that later. I apologize, Instagram. I'm doing my best. This is actually my first time. I know you can't see the shells, but cowrie shell divination is actually an art brought to the West by the Dagara tribe, Elder Vela Domasome. And I do these divinations. I also I like to incorporate the elementals. I really do believe they're our foundation, obviously. That's why I created the elemental pathway. But yeah, we all have a gift and a purpose. And I've been working with the elements so long that I can actually look at your body and see exactly what's going on. How can I heal, get out of my lifelong trauma, staying silent, being repressed, repressing myself in power, my emotion, my anger, my sadness, my loneliness, energetically? I will do a weekend read as well, but I want to, Tom, so I'm going to affirm your spirit for the magical being you are and always have been. Affirm the Great Spirit, the oneness, that I may be a conduit to deliver the message you need to receive today. With that, I say Ashe. What year are you born, Tom? If you could type that into the comments, I'd be grateful. And with that, I'll wait for your comment, but I'm going to move the shells on your behalf. Energetically, just the year. I don't need, you can do the month as well, but the year is fantastic. And I'm going to just tune into your spirit guides. 81. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you straight up. In the Dagara cosmology, you are part of the water clan. Water is all about being in the flow. It's also our emotional field. You need to go to the water. Water is your healing agent. Getting into the flow of water. Ouch, right? Water, you are when you're not in the flow, that's your the memories of your bones sending you to water, moving water, the ocean. Yeah, you're totally out of flow. But I'm going to move the shells. I will, if you want a private session, I kind of feel like you might need that, to be quite honest. I do these private. I do record them so you can reflect later. I always give people specific rituals, and my rituals are literally, they come from the other world. So it's like the otherworldly medicine cabinet rituals. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's five. In my case, when I first met Melodoma, it was like 10. Went on for 5 years. You think you were ouch? I was ouch too. But the universe never, I always believe the universe works in our favor, not against us. And you were divinely guided to me. So yeah, water. Like I said, I don't believe the universe ever makes a mistake. You're drawn to some people and you're deflected from some people to get you into the flow. We all are, actually. Mine always comes through vision. Pop, 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 my left eye, or tap, tap, tap. I get all the shit. Not even kidding. Just saying. However, I am going to move the shells for you on your behalf. But with that, I say ashe, and I'm just going to tune in for you. Ask the Great Spirit. I'm going to ask, actually, the Great Spirit, your ancestors, to actually be the conduit that moves my hand on your behalf to give you the messages you need to receive today. That I say once again, ashe. Ashe means blessings. And with that, let's go. Okay, my friend. I don't know what channel you're watching me on because I am multi-streaming. But this actually represents where you're at right now. You're in a place of surrendering to get into the flow. It's like this is the relationship ring and this is the ring of community. They're empty. So you almost feel like you're literally floating alone in the cosmic soup. That's what that feels like. But what you don't realize, once you like surrender to this and get into the flow, on the upside of this wave that's happening for you, there's going to be a radical insight to your own star. I believe we are all stars on the spiritual walk of fame. It's like flick out Hollywood. You are your own star. It's time to glimmer your magic, your medicine, your gift, your purpose. And you are spiritually protected. Holy Mother of Goddess. I just saw that just right now. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling, but that's really exciting. Just saying. I'm excited for you. But it's time that you were actually devoted to your own heart and what your heart wants to help you get into the flow. Having some own inner compassion for yourself. And also forgiveness and the surrendering to help you get into the flow. Who is your community? How do you identify? Like, where do you belong out in society, family, friendships, getting organized around that? There's a blockage over here. And also your connection to spirit. You need to like literally go to the water. I don't know where you live, but we need a ritual around water, definitely. And also, if you, I don't know what your spiritual practices are. I think they're unique to all of us. I'm not like a one and done kind of person, like you got to do this or that. I think we're all unique and we're all energetic beings, and how we connect to spirit, whatever that is for us, is individual. It's it comes to our own forefront. It's whatever resonates with you. There's no right or wrong. Spirit is always listening. But also, you're at a crossroads. We got to get you out into nature. Not to toot my own horn, but I kind of feel like you need a private divination. So we can like, not, this is kind of spread out, but we got to kind of make it come together. So you can like embody your gift and your purpose and assist you into getting into the flow. That's kind of what I'm seeing all through here. You do have wisdom. You're kind of going through a wake-up call to that wisdom, getting organized around it. I would say even like your ancestors over here, they're actually trying to communicate to you right here. Yeah, so just go to my website. It's tanyad.tv. On the top, it says one-on-one. You can go there and schedule. Just pick cowrie shell divination. That's fine. I have way too many opportunities, to be honest. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. We really got to get you into the flow. And I'll prescribe a specific rituals for you, possibly 3, if not 5, like myself, just saying. But once you go through this, I'll assist you and you're going to become like, poof, Like, why did I land on the earth? The earth. Why did I arrive on the earth at this time? That's kind of what I'm seeing. Male, or do you see something about your father, male line grandfather? I would say yes. You've got, let's see. Yeah, well, yeah. And so your ancestors' lineage are actually trying to help you go through this transition you're going through. You do need boundaries, like around what brings you inner peace. Look at me. I'm going like on a full divination here. Uh, Inner peace, they're trying to assist you with that so you can actually uh, be seen as like a spiritual, it's almost like you're going through a spiritual awakening that's actually going to bring you inner peace, but you do need some boundaries around that. It could be people, places, or things, just saying, but definitely need to go to nature, water, and connect with your spirit team, which would be your ancestors in this case. So, yeah, clarity around, you said male. Actually, yeah, there is a male and also 3 females. Just saying. Okay. Yes, I need boundaries and to get rid of junk. Well, you schedule a one-on-one and I'll give you some rituals to get you there. I promise. I'm magical. Ask anyone who's played with me. With that, I say ashe. And creatrix, I believe you said you wanted a divination for the weekend. A weekend read sounds fantastic. Of course it does, right? We all need a weekend read. You know, I don't know how to comment in this thing. Like I said, you're so fantastic. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you tuning in. My intention, just so you know, is changing lives, igniting passions through the information highway, which actually is the etheric world, but it's also the internet, while awakening your spirit. Because I believe we are all here on a galactic mission. This also tells me you need to get connected with your divine feminine. I'll help you with that too, which is water, getting in the flow, right? Water is yin energy. Fire, me, is fiery. Yang energy. Just saying. Okay, so collective read, since I don't have anybody else chiming in the comments. Maybe I do and I just don't see it. I don't know. I'm doing this multitasking. Oh, you're in Messenger? All right. You're fantastic. I think we're all fantastic. I'm going to hold that tone. I actually have a cup that says you're doing great because that was my mantra during all of the experience 2020. Okay, I'm going to ask the Great Spirit, the oneness, that I may be a conduit to do a read for the weekend. So with that, oh, let's see. I'm going to go with the Divine Feminine and move the shells in the Divine Feminine way, which would be this way. Okay. We are actually going to go through, it almost feels like an identity crisis. Not even kidding. We're kind of sideways. We're topsy-turvetish. Oh, and I pulled that card, so we're totally topsy-turvetish. But we got to open the door to change. This is literally, we got to go to the water. Phew! Throw everything in the water that we know, all the baggage, all the things into the water. Do a little cleansing, do a little reconciliation. Because it's blocking our creativity, but also our communication. And if you're new to me, we are in a year in the Dagara cosmology of mineral. Mineral's all about family, connection, community, conversation, getting outside of the box, communicating with humans, which we got away from since the you know what. So we got to get out there. But this is all happening, so we have a wake-up call and get organized about where in this world do I identify? Where do I belong in this world? Like, I'm going through it too, just saying. Like, I don't even know where I belong anymore. However, I'm still tooting my horn, doing my own thing, moving the shells. That's hilarious, but it's so true. Transformation is happening in the home front, in our foundation. Lots of transformation. This is happening literally. So it's a wake-up call for kind of like our consciousness, unconsciousness. We've got the wisdom. It's about us getting sophisticated about it. But it's also between these two parallels, even though we're in a world of community, it's also about connecting to our lineage, our ancestors, the Great Spirit, doing those divine connection conversations. That's going to bring us inner peace, healing as well, and helping us get into the flow of life. But we got to start, we literally got to start having the conversations, get organized. I mean, we know we know this world is like, I'm going to say it's in a conundrum. Yeah, I tend to stay optimistic. So I'm going to say we're in a conundrum. Like, I just want to say none of us are crazy. We all know what's going on. It's just that nobody's listening to us when we speak our truth, which is our brilliant, shining bright when we speak our truth, having a radical transformation, also shedding our light so we can come out on the other side, shining brighter than ever before. However, there's huge transformation on the earth plane that's happening. Usually, I'm going with in our favor. We do need to connect to spirit, whatever that is for you. I am of the fire clan, so I have a ritual I do. I'll just say that out loud. Every day I get up and I connect to obviously my higher self, my Sira, what I look like on the other side. I am fantastic. I'll say that, and so are you. As always, Ashe, absolutely 100%. When I connect with my higher self, I have things that are my go-to: inner peace, integrity, laughter, joy, poetry, fun, happiness. If those things are not happening for me, then I'm like, okay, where do I got to go to cleanse and scrub the field, right? Our auric field, I find that we do not cleanse our auric field as much as we cleanse our physical field. And in scrubbing the auric field, it actually gives us like a purity of source connection when we do that. So I do have a meditation. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you get this meditation for free. Actually, there's 3 fantastic ones now that I say that out loud. For free. It's called the Absolute Meditation, by the way. It's all about cleansing the auric field. I don't know why I brought that up. That's kind of rare and weird of me, but I feel like that's kind of what this is saying. We need to scrub our auric field to bring us some inner peace, but also connecting with spirit, whatever that is for each and every one of us. Again, so I affirm my magical self, my higher self, but I connect and protect and I ground into the elemental being, not just the earth plane. I am a fire spirit, a lot of air in my dynamic. So I allow spirit to connect me to the elemental that I need to ground into for the day. Usually when I go live, I ground into the element of air because that's all about the ideas and the ideals, conversations. I also obviously ground into fire because that's intuitive connection. And sometimes water to help myself stay into the flow because sometimes I get too fiery. Water cools me down because fire can rage out of control, right? So there's different elementals that we can ground into. We can also ground into star elemental to bring our starlight into this dimension. I talk about all these things and so much more. And kind of all of my offerings, to be honest, I really feel like connecting to an elemental energy, a subtle element, is kind of assists us with our gatekeeper and whatnot. So I do that, and then I center myself either through my heart center or through my solar plexus. Sometimes the shaman's portal, which I'm highly attuned into, our 8th energetic center. And also, let's go this hand. Also, our soul's harmonic. That's where I get intuitive signs and gifts and whatnot, or I command forces through my hands. I'm kind of a witch. Not that I said that out loud, but it's true. So that's kind of my routine. I always affirm the oneness, the great spirit, whatever you want to call it, source, that I may be a conduit and just deliver and receive messages that I need for the day to get me on my galactic, fantastic way. So that's what I do. The reason I brought that in is because energetic boundaries are always a thing. I find people don't protect themselves enough. We do not ground ourselves. We don't discern the voices that are coming in. And we don't trust and love our own beacon of light to help us stay in the flow of why we arrived on the planet at this time. So I hope that was fantastic. What are the element born in 1950? That's of the Earth clan. The Earth people are here. They're the builders. Like the men build the house, but the women make the house come alive. Those people are the nurturers. They identify as the nurturers. I see a lot of like nurses as earth people. Earth people actually, you know what's frustrating I find? Earth people are always in transition. 1950 is an earth clan. And because it's an interseason, it's the at the end of every other season. It just depends on the season they're born in as well, like the month. This all plays out, right? So that's kind of what I do when I look at charts. I don't just do the Dagara. I kind of bring in the Chinese. I also bring in the astrology because it's kind of a layering factor, if you will. And I find it's very fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I work with a lot of people. I've healed people of things that seem so strange and out there, but it's always intuitively guided. Like spirit will like tell me what to say or what to suggest. And you know, you are your own healer. I just suggest do your own research after a suggestion. But I will say, most people that have worked with me are pretty much in awe. I'm just saying that out loud because they're I think it comes across sometimes as kind of unbelievable. But like I said, my intention is changing lives, igniting passions on the information highway while awakening the spirit. And I truly do believe health is beauty made visible. Whatever's going on inside of your body will show up at the level of the skin. So I've been toting my own horn for a minute. So yeah, again, Tom, people born in 1950 are part of the Earth Clan. And we're all interconnected. If you saw my post on my page, we're all atoms, particles, and waves, good or bad, having a conversation in the etheric field. I like the etheric highway over the astral highway. Just saying, I find that the astral plane's a little congested right now. That's why I probably created that absolute meditation. So if you want, it's free. It's on my website. All you got to do is subscribe and enjoy. And with that, thanks for tuning in. Remember, we are in an Earth season. Earth is transitional. Just kind of pay attention to your body as you go through the transition. The universe is galactic. Earth seasons are always an interseason between the next season. So we're in elemental Earth until we enter into fire. And then, woo, spirit gets activated. So with that, once again, Ashe, blessings. I'll see you on the other side, as always. And yeah, I think I'm live. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. I can't wait to work with you one-on-one. I'm going to change your stars. That's my other story. Okay, make it fantastic, everybody. And I'll see you on the other side. Blessings.